Hello, this is GryzCast, also known as Mandemic in the gamosphere. Thank you very much for joining me on this. It's a little bit longer and it is a bit hacked up because this came from a Twitch stream. So I was actively talking to other individuals. So I've had to kind of edit things out because I had, name dropping and things like that. Of course, my name is on here when you watch the episode. You do have my name, but I've also changed their name. So I got them as Shady Plug Skeezy because I wanted to make it as sleazy as humanly possible. And you'll kind of see why. I hope you enjoy, and please just look past the editing and stuff. I'm not a professional. I enjoy doing this, but it just is what it is. When you hack up a Twitch cast, it's all impromptu and it's all live. So you got to do your best with what you got. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Just recently, I got talked to on Discord by an individual. At first, it seemed all right. I checked them out online. They had quite a few subscribers on YouTube and Twitch. I mean, like 200,000 on YouTube and about 50,000 or so on Twitch. So, at first it was cool. Said, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing good. Some people just stumble across you. That's fine. It was when we got down around here is when I kind of got a little bit, hey, let's just back off a second. Let's just talk like we're normal, but let's see where this is going. Because he said, oh, nice games. But I had already looked this guy up. He played NBA and NBA Draft or whatever it was. He played the new Black Ops game. And that was it. I mean, exclusively just those two games. That is it. And he says, oh, nice games. And none of my shit, except for Call of Duty, none of my shit matches his because he was also playing multiplayer. So I just, okay, let's see where this guy's going. And he says, so he's trying to find some commonality here. But see, what I wanted to do is I wanted to get him as far as I possibly could because I want to see where this is going. Because I've had this before. You get the normal shit on Twitch where somebody comes on and they say, oh, I really like your streams. So, great. Thank you for being here. Love it. And then later on down the road, they might ask a question here. Oh, I've never played this game. Then why the fuck are you here? I get it if they want to try it out, but they don't really have a conversation. They don't really know how to converse like properly. So you're like, okay. So you basically let them set their own hook in their mouth. And then they said, well, I wanted to talk to you about something, but I was, I really love your gaming style. So I told you that baits you into wanting to ask, well, what was the question? Then they come in with, I sell graphics and stuff like that, and I can do graphics for your web. It's like, fuck off, dude. Just fuck off. And that's when I ban them immediately because they're not being genuine, are they? They're being disingenuous. They're not really wanting to be here for me. They're wanting here for my money and my business. And that's not how I do play. If somebody came on and say, hey, I do graphics. Would you like some? Nope. All right. Catch you later. That's not what they do. They're dodgy as fuck. So you got to know these sales pitches. And some people don't. So some people that do, but some people actually don't. So where you pick up right away is where there's a break in the natural line of communications. So I tell him I play games that have nothing to do with me. Now he says he might want to collab, meet new people. That's fine. That shit can be real. But when I look at what he does and what I do, except for Call of Duty, there is no reason at all that he'd want to have any interest in what I do unless he's interested in trying out new games, things that are different than what he normally does. So I asked what games I stream, which let's be honest. Okay, here's the first flag. Let's go through the flags like normal. I'm a streamer, just networking, finding more games to add to my collection. He opens with networking, but no real interest in my content. He sets up a generic funnel opener. Basically said, hey, I'm open. And what you do is, if you're intelligent in any way, shape, or form, you're going to go research that person. You don't just bite the hook immediately and say, oh, somebody is interested in me. Well, a lot of people are interested in you, just not for the reasons you want them to be. So he asked what games I stream, and this is a big red flag here because, he already knows what games I play, right? Let's say he doesn't. He got me on Discord. He could easily just find my server on Discord because it's there. He's already talking to me, and he can see what games. He just joins the server, see what games. If he's not interested, he pisses off and gets off my server. That's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So he doesn't know what game. He found my Discord, so if he joined my server, he could easily see my game categories. This is basic small talk, but used to keep me talking towards his real target, which is promotion, not collaboration. He wants my money. So, I respond back to him, no problem. I stream PAX Day, Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, a few other games, I get the feels for. I'm about collabing, by the way, because I didn't respond to him on that. It says, what's your stream link? I'll hit you up and have a watch. And he said, oh, nice games. Literally nothing else. He's interested in new games, but doesn't talk to me about them or inquire about their mechanics. So he doesn't actually talk to me about the games. He says, oh, nice games. He's so not interested, he can't even put up a good fake front. Anybody can get money out of me if they know how to sell it right. Find out what I'm interested in. See if I'm willing to invest, even if it's just $1 or £1 or whatever. And he says, basically, that's when he kind of comes back and said, oh, nice games. And he says, I would stream Call of Duty mostly, which is fair because that goes along with his Black Ops. Would love to see your gameplay. What's your Twitch? He didn't even bother looking. Just try Mandemic. See what the fuck comes up. The icons on my server are exactly the same icons on my YouTube and the same icons on my Twitch. I took no more than like 2 minutes, and I found out his Twitch, I found out his YouTube, I found out everything as far as what he streams online just from looking at his icon and from going and doing a search for his name, and I found it. And this guy, he wasn't so much a scammer as in he was a real human being. He had real stuff. I watched some of his videos. He had his daughter on there with him. It was very obvious that this was a real human being. They were trying to upsell something. Okay, so generally on Discord, which obviously Discord servers aren't necessarily like public, like they're not stuff that just people just see all the damn time. They have to know you or know of you to get the link to get on you. So people aren't just going to slide in. Fast move to get my links, but no actual conversation about content. And again, he should already be able to find me right here when he talks to me. Now, there's a lot of red flags here, even ones that are considered so subtle. You might not even see them as red flags, but when you stack them all together, they become that. Or when you can determine early that this is probably somebody that just wants your money, whether it's a scammer, bot, whatever. You start stacking the red flags together, and then you can start seeing them almost immediately. Like this. Love to see your gameplay. What's your Twitch? Come on. I found you in less than 2 minutes. You can easily find me if you gave a shit. And then he asks immediately. Well, he asked within about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, he asked me, am I there? This should be another red flag. Why is he so impatient to talk to me? We all got real lives. Now, it could be a very young person that doesn't understand the dynamics of reality and how real life works. And sometimes I'm just not going to be right there every single moment to talk to you. So appears to show interest, but is more interested in the conversation, not dying or going cold. This is very much a sales tactic. You want to keep them hot. I was in sales, but I was in like respectful sales. I worked for an electronics company, and I dealt with customers that called in that were looking at possible products. I was an engineer, so I went out and checked out their site. I actually dealt with real human beings, and I did no cold calling. I hate cold calling. So I did respectful sales, like sales you would expect. If you think of salesmen in a business, that's what I did. He wanted to keep this alive. This is very much a thing to do. And he was doing it a little bit too impatiently. Like after about 2 hours, especially after I knew who he was by then. So I knew who he was. He didn't know. I said I looked at his channel. He's got good content. Then we go down, good morning, was busy lately. So I explained, I said, I was busy, man. So that also got to me. I don't like when people rush me in any way, shape, or form. It might show enthusiasm, but it doesn't show control over themselves, not over me. I don't want people to say, hey, where you at? Why aren't you? Fucker, I got life. You know, I come on because I want to have fun with it, not because I want to be pressured into anything, including talking to someone. If I honestly don't give a shit about talking, I'm watching The Witcher. I don't want to fucking talk to you right now. Something as simple as I'm having a cheeseburger and it's delicious. I don't want to talk to you right now. That's just real life, man. People shouldn't get dick hurt by that. So he goes, oh, I see. Okay. What he's done there is he maybe have done a cursory look at my stuff or had already seen it. He didn't even give a fuck about pretending like he gave a shit. Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No discussion of my channel or games. By now he's had ample opportunity. I mean, this is the entire reason he's come here, right? I mean, he came here to do this exact thing, to talk to me, to collab. I mean, remember, at the end of the day, this whole thing initiated because he wants to collab with other people. Now, if he finds my stuff uninteresting, move along your way, man. Get out of here. I don't mind that stuff. And I kind of explained in here that, look, I don't push likes or follows or anything like that. I mean, I mentioned it in my stream because everybody should. What you do. But I don't push for it. So if I have a low following, I maintain a low following. I'd like to do more content. I'm looking to changing out some of my content slightly because, you know, it's like a comedian. You tell a joke, some stuff hits, some stuff doesn't, but it might not hit there. So you tell your joke somewhere else, tell your joke in different locations to different people. If it continues not to hit, you change. That's life. That's how you grow a business, how you make money. It's how you provide content that people really want. because I'm a little bit older and I don't give a shit about a lot of stuff the younger people do, I don't have content like them. I'm not going to sit there and be, oh, rah, 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 fuck that shit. That's, you got energy. You do that. I don't. So by now, I already know this guy isn't on the up and up. He's not level with me. Got a nice channel in each. Okay. It goes along with the OIC. He doesn't say a damn thing here. It doesn't matter if I have a nice channel or not. It costs no money to say, you've got a nice channel. No effort. He doesn't have time for me. What he has time for is my money. So he's given me the absolute minimum effort to pitch this to me. So here we go. Here's where it's going to start getting very obvious very quickly. And here's my channel links. So of course I didn't post them because I don't want, I'm not diming him out like that because he's a real YouTuber. He's not a bot. Even though he might be shady on this, he still has legitimate followers and stuff like that. He's just, you know, I don't need to start no war where he's up here and I'm down here because it's just going to look like that I want clout, that I'm just trying to make a name for myself by bigging myself up by going after a bigger YouTuber. I've seen that online, even if it's legit or not. Man, public opinion doesn't give a shit about me. They don't give a shit about that. They just see I've got maybe 200 followers and he's got 200,000. So he thinks I'm going after him to make a name for myself. And if I would, it would be because of this kind of stuff. It'd be because I would be calling his ass out. But I just don't care about that. I don't want to grow that way. That's growing on, you know, that's like putting your foundation on sand. It's very tenuous. To say the least, it's very tenuous. All right, so then here's the red flag again, copy, paste, praise, then immediately drops his own links. This is classic clout trade. Hey, I do this. Hey, I got this many people. But he leaves it. You know, he doesn't actually go in there and start bragging about himself because that also makes me think truly he's a real person. He's not a bot. He isn't trying to upsell himself. And the reason why he's not trying to upsell himself in this whole entire thing, he's not. And we'll get to it really quick. He's not trying to make himself better or bigger to me because I'm a nobody. And if you look at likes and friend and follows, I'm nothing to him because of my size. So, okay, fair enough. Got to start somewhere, right? What methods do you use to publicize your channels? And that's when he starts the pitch. Hard pivot from friendly chat to probing my pain points, my growth. You know, and this is lead qualification talk. What he doesn't understand is my growth is at my pace. Small doesn't mean inadequate. So remember that. Small doesn't mean that you have low quality or that you don't have something worth putting out there. What it means, though, is you're either starting, or if you've been doing this for a long time and still have slow quality or a low amount of followers or exposure, then if you want to, then you think about how you're going to switch it up a little bit. Never be disingenuous, never be anybody other than yourself or how you want to game, because most people can't maintain that. That's why you see all these YouTube followers. They're out there for 5 years at the most. It's because they're constantly putting on those smiles and all that energy they're projecting into the webcam and into their efforts. They can't maintain that. That's why you rarely see really good, really kick-ass YouTubers and stuff last more than 5 or so years. It just doesn't work that way. If you have a team, it can start building up. But two things happen. One, they either burn out or they don't change. They don't adjust themselves. So that becomes a real problem. That's just human nature, though. Okay, you have a good channel too, as well as your YouTube content. This is me talking to him. And I'm being very genuine with them. Okay, you're looking successful as well. Good on you. I don't really advertise. I just come on and play whatever games I want. Shady Plug Skeezy, that's the name I added to this guy. Instead of giving his real name, he's the individual that came on as a real YouTuber. He's a real YouTuber and Twitch streamer. He initiated a conversation with me to collab. That's what he said. He wanted to collab with me. And after just a few moments with him, I realized very quickly he was probably trying to sell me something. He wasn't a bot. He wasn't so much a scammer because he is a real, I researched this guy. He's for real, man. He brings his daughter on there. He plays long period. He does long content. He's a real human being. He's just got a side hustle where he tries to get other YouTubers, other small YouTubers or streamers like myself into this scheme. I easily saw into it. I wasn't in any way unprotected because I knew what I was looking at, but other people might. So that's the reason why I really wasn't focused on whether he was real or not as far as the real human being, and whether somebody hijacked his profile or his likeness. It was what he actually said. So no matter who it is that's behind the other keyboard, you can identify, you can see the patterns, and then you can work within those patterns. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if they fucking live stream you and start talking to you directly in real life. Doesn't matter if it's the real person. It's not who it is that's behind that keyboard. It's what they do and how they catch you and hook you in. So you're absolutely right. It could have been a scammer that hijacked his profile, his content, his likeness. I used to do all the editing. This is me. I used to do all the editing graphics myself, like for my intros and my outros, but the hits weren't coming. So I do long form format now and cut into 1 hour segments for YouTube. So basically what I tell you guys I do now for modern gaming, I now do for this. And that's my pandemic side. My GryzCast, I already told him it's commentary and stuff like that. And this is where he brings in, well, to be honest, I have no specific methods of publicity before as well, but didn't get enough results. So now what he's doing now is he's trying to associate with me. He's trying to make us feel like we're the same. And it's very likely he could be correct. He might not be lying right here. I want it for my stream, so I started following some certain steps, which really helps me grow. Now, I want you to remember this. He wasn't getting the streams that he wanted, so he started following certain steps. Let's say he's telling the truth. If he's lying, he's dodgy as fuck anyways. I don't really care about him. But let's say he's telling the truth. Okay, he has vague secret steps with zero detail, so he doesn't actually go into it because he doesn't really care about me. He cares about my money. He doesn't care to grow me. He cares to get a kickback from the company that he's trying to push off onto me. Classic setup for a later pitch. Absolutely. By the way, do you have an idea about EcoReach? There it is. There's a name drop. Now I'm in what's called the sales funnel. Now he's got me right where he wants me. He's going to start giving me the pitch. No, I have not heard of it. This is where I wanted him to start talking to me. I stopped giving him any details. Right then and there, I stopped giving him any extra details. He doesn't deserve any more details. He basically wants my money. He doesn't want me. He doesn't want to help grow me properly. He doesn't want to collab with me. He wants my money. Remember that. No, I've not heard of it. So there it is. Now you could almost say the power is switched. I'm now in control because I've recognized it. He's made it very clear what it is. I'm going to start getting from him what I need, not the other way around. Well, to be honest, I recently came across something called EcoReach through a top streamer on Discord. Top streamer on Discord. Appeals to unnamed top streamer. Authority. No name, no proof, just borrowed clout. It's been way more helpful. This is in the same paragraph here. This and this is in the same paragraph. It's been way more helpful than the usual follower booster stuff, which involves fast but fake processes. Now, what he's saying is a fake process. He's saying all this other booster shit is fake. That what he means is real, but what everyone else is doing is fake. So what he's trying to do is identify that he's legitimate and no one else is. It's more about actually working with Twitch's system to grow naturally and get some real people through smarter use of platform's algorithm. I want you to remember this part as well, because this is important, because this is where he flat out lies. I'll tell you why. Full of marketing buzzwords, zero mechanics, sounds like ad copy, which means basically something you get in a book. You can just copy and paste that in. That's a good statement just to dump out to the masses. Basically, this spam cold messages to SMS, WhatsApp, and email messaging platforms of any contact that you have in the list. So if you decide you want to join this scheme, what will happen is you have all your contacts. Let's say on my Discord server, I grab all my contacts. And if I have their email addresses, if they have their phone numbers because they're private to me, if I have their WhatsApp, if I have anything about them, I can possibly put this in this database. And what they do is they basically cold message them. Every time I go on, they send them a message. Whether they want it or not, they get it. This is cold calling. This is content creation or content advertisement, but it's not done at the receiver's, the recipient's request. They didn't ask for this. You didn't ask for me to get your information out to do this. So this is where right here he's lying. Actually working with Twitch's system. It doesn't. It has nothing. EcoReach has nothing to do with Twitch's system at all. It is a private, basically message generator that generates messages and pushes it out to people's phone numbers, their WhatsApp, i.e. their phone numbers, and to email. Nothing to do with Twitch. Twitch doesn't even get touched by EcoReach's system. Okay, been using it myself and it's made a difference. Okay, here's the other thing why he's lying. When I told you to come up here, he learned it, he recently came across, where was it at? Oh, it didn't get enough results for my stream, so I started following some certain steps, which really helps me grow. So if he really did this, then he's dodgy as fuck even as a streamer. And the reason why is because he's using this cold calling bullshit method, handing out people's private information. Well, private in a way, like I trust you, like Lynn, let's take you for example. If me and you get to know each other very well and you give me your email address, even if it's your gamer's email address and doesn't actually touch your private stuff, that's still something you handed me. You didn't put it out there on like your Discord or on your profile for people to just email you wherever. You trust me enough to give me your email address. And what happens if we became true friends? I find out that you live here in England and we went to visit and you gave me your private number. Now I started handing it to that. Now you start getting emails about my shit, you know, about my streams and stuff. Well, that's dodgy. And he actually started saying, at least, that he grew his content because of that. That already tells me that you're dodgy as fuck and I don't want nothing to do with you. But I keep going. I'm not going to stop there because I need him to give me as much information as possible. And here's why. Because I need to learn how this works. I need to learn what people say and how they say it so then I can tell you and I can also protect myself better. He's been using himself and has made a difference. Unverifiable success claim. How do we know this? We don't know shit about this. He isn't pushing any metrics. He's not giving me any numbers. He's not giving me any information or details. He says, I hope I understand that. Like I'm a fucking idiot. I understand a lot more than he thinks. Yes. How does it work with Twitch and YouTube? So now I start asking the questions. He thinks I'm baited, but I'm not. I'm trying to get him to start digging himself a bigger hole because he's not going to. I'm very specific with my questions. I know he can't specifically answer them. I know for a fact because honestly, he is a YouTuber. He is a Twitch. He doesn't want to do this shit, this mechanics. He doesn't care about eco reach and the details. He's not so passionate about it because not a single one of his videos talked about it. Not a single one of his streams discussed it. This is a tool for him to make money, not a tool for him to enjoy. He doesn't care about this. And so that's why I ask very specific questions, because I know he's not going to be able to answer that. So I started asking the right questions by seeing if I can call him out subtly without him knowing. I want to find out what he really knows about eco-reach. Yeah, sure. It's just a setup that gets more people notified whenever you go live or upload new content. Okay. It's not an advertisement. It's like when you do something when you use something like any of those thread bots, any of those bots on Discord that you put in your YouTube information, and once you go live, it puts it onto your Discord channel. It just said, okay, mostly non-followers. Here's right there, mostly non-followers, not people that have already agreed to see your content or see when you get updated when your content gets updated. These are non-followers, people that don't even know you. If they don't know you, then most likely this is cold calling. This is you spamming other human beings with your information and they didn't request it. So that right there it is. That right there told me everything. That answered all the other questions I had. This is bullshit. This is dodgy as fuck. Loves to watch and engage with you in the category games you stream or upload to your channels. Claims to notify non-followers about my go lives. That's not how legit YouTube and Twitch notifications work. Smells like scam or bot list. So once they say non-followers, anything like that, non-followers should be people that stumble across you and decide whether they want to follow you. Like right now, I've seen there's 4, 5, 6 people that have been watching. Now I'm back down to 2 or 3. Those are people that I would classify as non-followers. They came in, saw my content, weren't interested, fucked off. Totally fine. No problem with that at all. That's how you do streaming. I don't mind that at all. You know, maybe I'm planting the seed. Maybe like, I don't want to watch this shit right now. Maybe I'll watch it later. Maybe I'll get behind the scenes once I quit this. Maybe I'll get a follower. Maybe I'll get an email, maybe a message or something like that. That's altogether possible. But what D means by non-followers is people I don't even know. You can have 20,000 followers on Discord, but only have 5,000 followers on your YouTube or your Twitch channel. People maybe just care more about Discord and the privacy that allows for than they do on watching you on Twitch and talking and all this other shit. I don't know. That's just people. So this tries to grab all those people in. But do you know how to set that up on your channel? Now, this is a very common thing where people use it to think that you're ignorant or they're there to help. So go, do you know how to set this up on your channel? Here's my response. Not to him, but my red flag. Implies that I can't do it myself, nudging me towards needing help. Like he's there to help me. He's my savior. And how would I know how to use Echo Reach? I specifically said, I never heard of it before. So he's not really paying attention. He's reading from a book. He's reading from a sales pitch. Sometimes I don't remember shit, but him, it's all written down. He can easily have just gone back and seen that. And maybe he did forget. All right, maybe he did forget. But why is he this far into the sales pitch if I already have Eco Reach? If I already know how it works? He'd be if I said, yes, I know how it works and I'm not interested, he'd be completely on a different tack. Like, well, did you really try? Or was there any problems you had where it kind of aggravated you and maybe it's something you might want to go back to if I can help ease your pain or ease you back into it? That would be the sales pitch right now if he knew I had known about EcoReach, but he didn't because he's following the pattern. But do you know how to set that up on your channel as well? Fuck would I know how to set that up? I've never had it before. How exactly are you using EcoReach with your Twitch and YouTube channels? That kind of backs up this right here. Okay, he didn't really tell me anything about how does it work with Twitch or work with YouTube. He just basically tells me what it does. Like, I have a tractor that I need for farming. I ask an individual, how do I use this to farm? Well, it's a tractor. It's got 4 wheels and it drives straight. Okay, fuck, I can get a car for that. How does it use me for farming? He hasn't told me how I can farm with it yet. Basically, that's what this is, isn't it? That's kind of a good metaphor because it's about farming. It's a bit complicated, though. You will have to reach out to an EcoReach specialist. Are you telling me you're trying to sell me something you don't even know how to use yourself? You can't even give me the basics? He uses YouTube and Twitch. 200,000 followers on YouTube, 50,000 followers on Twitch, or something like that. And he doesn't even know how. He's letting EcoReach touch his ecosystem, his brand, his name, and he can't even give me the basics on how it works? Or it's suddenly too complicated to explain. Real tools don't require mystery specialists. No, they don't. I asked you a very simple question. How are you using EcoReach with Twitch and YouTube channels? Now, honestly, he kind of already told me before. I'm just doing it in a different way because I'm talking about him directly. How are you? Not how does it work? How are you using it? Or if you prefer, I can simply recommend the one which helps me with mine, basically the person that helps him with his. It's an emotional nudge. Or if you prefer, I can simply, and if I really care about it, plus referral to my guy, Classic Middleman. This is perfect. If I did this and I found others that could benefit, now here's where I really fucking sank the hook in. Here's where if I wasn't sure before, I'm 100% now. He's either going to tell me how to do it, which sets the hook, or he's going to pass me on because he doesn't give a shit. He just wants his kickback. All he's supposed to do is this. He just pushes me towards someone. That someone successfully gets me hooked. He gets the initiator, he gets a kickback. He gets a small percentage of whatever it is they get from me. So if I do a subscription service at $19.99 a month, he might get a one-time grab of like $20, 20 pounds, something like that. If I do this and I find others that benefit, is there any affiliate partnership with EcoReach? Basically, what I'm trying to get him to do is tell me how he's working with EcoReach. Now, I don't expect him to tell me at all, because if he did, then he would be giving up the ghost. He'd be telling me exactly what it is that he does. He dodges my affiliate partner question. Oh, here, sure, but you should reach out to them first as they can explain better how it will work. Would you like me to share their Discord ID with you? Why doesn't he give me an email address for the official company? Why don't I get a name? Why don't I get a phone number? I get nothing. Everything's done through Discord. Now, EcoReach is a real company, and they're really there. And I could just go there and I could talk to myself and I could skip this guy. But he wants me to talk to an individual because he's got someone that is up, his funnel goes upwards as well. So his sales chain. And the next person up is the one he has to talk to. So he talks to that person. That person is the one that takes all of this guy's funneled marks, basically. And I'm a mark. He pushes me straight on Discord. This is what's called the handoff. Nah, I'm good. I don't need anything like that at the moment. And then I blocked him. I absolutely blocked all of his shit. I don't want anything to do with this guy. I'm done with him. Because he didn't even bother in any of his stuff. He really never talked to me about the product. And if you noticed, he never once talked about collabing with me. Not really. He mentioned that he wants to, but he never once talked about doing it. Okay, so here are the takeaways. Here's what you could take away from this conversation that I had. Anybody wants a copy of this conversation, I'm more than happy to hand it to him. But you got this video, you can look back on it as well. Okay, networking as a bait. He drew me in by someone that's larger than me and follows and likes and wants to collab with little old me. Vague success story, especially when it comes to EcoReach. Didn't tell me about how he actually did it. How long has he been on? That kind of stuff. I can see how long he's been on Discord. That doesn't mean how long where did he start out like me? And then how did his success climb? You know, give me the metrics, give me the chart. Product name drop, EcoReach. Buzzword soup, a whole lot of just sales jargon. Impossible claims about notifications. Too complicated for me. He'd rather not talk about it. and hand off for a mystery specialist on Discord of all places. Come on. Come on. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, everybody, this is Future Me. Thank you very much for watching. If you've gotten all the way to the end of the here, you love to suffer, I suppose. This is not the first time I've come across somebody that's trying to get my money and trying to scam from me. I consider these things scams, even if they might be legit business. The way they do it, it's dodgy, and I don't appreciate it because they're not respecting me and what I'm doing. They just want my money, and they don't do it in a genuine, upfront way. If you want more content like this, by all means, tell me if there's any other kind of a content you are looking for where I open up or expose or discuss behaviors that we don't want to see online. Please, by all means, let me know. Thank you again, and like, subscribe, comment, blah, 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 blah. Have yourself a great day.